Hello YouTube, this is my 1992 Mazda 223 BG Hatchback. It is the second 323 I own, but this one is the one I actually would like to modify. I am the second owner of it. The first owner was one of my father's clients, so we know all of the service history all the way back from 1993, and I got really lucky with this purchase. So it has the standard 1.3 liter B3 engine. So it has the standard 1.2 liter B3 16 valve carbureted engine that most of these came out at least in Malta. I plan on engine swapping this to a 1.8 liter BP, maybe with a turbo, but that's for the far future. The plans for the car right now is to restore the body, which I will show you right now. So the car is a bit dusty right now as I sanded all of the roof, which I will get to later. The car itself has only been in one accident, which wasn't that bad. Only the hood, the bonnet had to be replaced. The bumper of it had to be replaced as well, and so did the grille. This grille isn't it. This is of the pre-facelift, while this to the tree is the facelift. So yeah, here there's a bit of a dent and the paint is not in good condition. This has almost 180,000 miles. So yeah, and it did most of it outside. I don't know how the paint stayed looking this good for almost 35 years. I love how the paint looks. The color is one of my favorite that the 223 ever came out with. And it doesn't have any major dents other than that, but I had to sand down the roof. Now, the roof had a bunch of rust, and it's the only place except for the back that has rust, but it didn't penetrate the roof, as in from the underside. So if we come into the car, you can see that the rust didn't really penetrate anywhere in the roof, so it's literally a surface rust. But I had to sand down all of it to find out where all of the rust spots are, because some of them did not penetrate the paint, like small spots like this and this. I just found out about them when when I started sanding. The only dent on the roof is this. I dented it myself. I went to sand and I kept sanding the same place, and it heated and it warped the metal. I did not make the same mistake anywhere else. This is really my first time working on a project car. Yeah, so as you can see, the dash isn't in bad condition, neither is the steering wheel actually. My 223 sedan has, when I bought it, had only 32,000 miles, and the steering wheel was in much worse condition. So yeah, this is the dash right now. I don't really plan on changing anything. Also, as you can see, I had to obviously strip out the top half of the interior to get the roof off, and the roof is in very bad condition. I have to replace it, but the actual I think it's cardboard that's under it that has the actual shape is still in pretty good condition. And this is the rest of the interior parts of the car. I decided to remove the aerial. It was jammed extended, and I don't really use the radio anyway. In my sedan, which is my daily driver, I use a Bluetooth transmitter, basically radio transmitter, and I always have the aerial not extended, so, and I still listen to music. Yeah, in this I want to put a good sound system in it. I don't need the aerial, so I'm just going to cover this part of the metal right here, block it off so it's flush with the body. So here there's some small amount of rust, even on the doors here, but it's very manageable. What I need to do is obviously take off the door, and I'll sand it down, put some hard metal, and it should be okay. The same is on the other side. Actually, on the other side it's much worse than here. This is not that much. As you can see, this door over here has much more rust, although nothing is over the top that you can't really fix. I got pretty lucky with this car when it comes to rust. and on the underside, which I will show you soon, there's barely any rust. So yeah, I got really lucky, especially when it comes to the actual structure of the car. Nothing really has rust. So unfortunately, the place where we have really bad rust here is in the bagol. I assume that a lot of rainwater came here and obviously busted through the body. These are the only two spots in the actual car which I know that rust has penetrated the metal and went through the other side. So this is the underside of the car. We have I think a small gasket leak. It's very minor. So yeah, this is the underside. I mean, the amount of rust here is pretty normal for the age of the car. Just surface rust, nothing really that bad. And as we go more towards the back of the car, there's less. This was very well kept. As I said before, it only had one owner before. She always fixed the car at my dad. So we know all of the service history, and also she always did the services on time. Yeah, there is some surface rust, but again, it's quite normal. And honestly, again, for the age, the fact that there's no real rust that, you know, makes you can't drive or something is pretty amazing. Yesterday I also bought an OEM spoiler for the car. Obviously I will sand it down and paint it the same color. And I also have a aftermarket bumper. So this is the aftermarket bumper. It's a Zander bumper. To my knowledge, they were kind of they had to do something with Mazda. They were kind of semi-official Mazda parts. Basically, from the agent in Malta, you would choose if you wanted the Zander bumper, and then Mazda would take it to the people at Zander to actually make the bumper. I love how it looks. You get two fog lights, kind of like the GTR bumper. And I have a friend who has a 223 hatch with this bumper, and it just looks awesome. I love how this bumper looks. I sanded down this already for the most part. It was originally planned for my sedan, but I bought this and decided to place it on this instead. So finally, what's the plan for the car? So I'm still a student, so everything's going to be quite slow when it comes to actually modifying this and making it into a quick car. My goal is to make around 180 to 200 horsepower. I want to swap an engine in it, another one. I'm either between a 1.8 BP engine and later turbo it, or a KZLE, which is a 2.5 liter Mazda engine. It's the V6 that was on the MX-6, or instead the K8, I think it's called, a K8 engine from the MX-3, which is also a 1.8 liter V6. Shouldn't be too difficult to put in, although obviously with the V6 you'll have much less room to, you know, in the engine bay. But the mounts for the MX-3 and the 323 are very similar, if not the same. I'm pretty sure the MX-3 was based on the chassis of this 323. So that's really the engine. Obviously put wider tires with new rims, because right now these are Steelies as from the factory. I do not have the original hubcaps, although I do still have the hubcaps from the sedan, so if I really wanted to, I could put those on. I need to find the A-pillar covers, which are very difficult to find, and unfortunately I had to remove the packing of the windscreen because there's a lot of rust here. Again, nothing goes through from the other side, but we still have to do something about it. Tomorrow I'm planning on sandblasting all of the rust and putting hard metal and making it flush with the body again. Everything goes it's going pretty fast right now because I know what to do and I don't need too much money to do all of this. But again, as I said, to do the really big modifications, yeah. I am still a student. I'm only 19 years old. I'm very excited to do this. I am obsessed with 223s for some reason, I don't know why. We have three in the family. We have this, we have my sedan, and then my father has a 323 Protege GT from Canada. and to my knowledge is the only Protégé in Malta, let alone a GT. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you stay tuned for future videos, and bye bye.